you are a Christian entrepreneur or a business owner, here are 5 truths you need to hear today. And I wish I had heard these or even just internalized them much sooner as a Christian business owner. So I'm happy to share these with you today. Hello, beautiful friend. I'm so happy you're here. And if we're just meeting, my name is Apryll. And on this channel, we just talk about all things creative, like business-wise and even other life journeys. So I'm happy you're here. And today we're going to be discussing business and even just giving you some advice, some tips that will help you to just go further faster, especially just get started now or even just scale whatever business in whatever capacity you have. And I just want to share something, like if you are a creative, if you're offering a service, a product, you are in business. And I want us to start thinking of ourselves as business owners, especially as Christians, here to impact the world and the customers that we are serving. So the first thing I wish I had learned sooner was to start before I feel ready. And to be honest, I had done this before. I had started with things before I felt ready, even before I knew I was starting my own business, like when I was starting my YouTube channel where I was teaching English as a second language, and the videos that I placed here was to help me to get customers. Before then, I didn't even feel ready or equipped to do video. I didn't know if it was for me, but I started. Now, what I wish I had learned sooner is just that when I got ideas about how to scale my business and different things that I could do, I wish I had started before I felt as if I had enough products, or before I felt as if I could share them to the best of my ability. Just have them out there so that people can see. Because like when you start and when you have your products or your services out there so that people can see, you're actually in a position where you can then refine whatever you're offering. But if you haven't started, if people don't know what you're offering at all, there's no way for them to even buy. There's no way for them to even know if they are interested, or for you to know if there is a good market for this and people who would want to buy, or for you to refine, for you to change, for you to just do things that will help you and your business to grow. So start before you feel ready. If you're thinking about going on social media, increasing your personal brand or anything like that, start before you feel ready. Start if you have a phone or something like that. Honestly, it really helps you to just put yourself out there. If you are camera shy, for instance, I get that. When I just started with video, like I used to talk to the camera like this. But now I'm at a place where I actually feel more comfortable doing video. I still make mistakes. I still feel, the nervousness, or do I sound good? Am I, do I sound intellectual enough? All the things. But now I just realized to just do the thing. During the editing process, I can find out ways in which I need to change, ways in which I need to say things, and it just gets better. It improves over time, but I find that all while actually doing the thing, right? How to improve and how to get better. So start before you feel ready, please. The second thing I wish I had learned sooner was that obedience is just what your purpose is. So obedience over outcome. So I remember someone saying this, and it stuck with me, that your responsibility is not the outcome, it's not the result, but obedience. So if God has placed something on your heart and he has, he's actually guiding you in this direction to actually offer this or to create this, your responsibility is to obey him and not to think about if it will work or not. Because failure is really like disobedience, like not obeying what he's told you to do, something to that effect. You obeying what he has placed on your heart, what he has instructed you to do, is the way in which you actually know what he wants to do with it. And whatever he does with your obedience is his job, right? And if you're thinking about like the income and the provision to come from your business, which is actually really important, there are many Bible verses that actually declares that God is the one who provides. And also, like if you think about farmers, for instance, like one of the basic, or actually one of the most important industries in our society, where we get the food that we eat. Like, farmers sow without knowing what the results will be. And they do it in faith. Every time they plant that seed, or they rear those animals, not knowing what will come from it, they do it because they're just believing that they will get the provision they need. And sure, you have farmers that have a lot of experience, and they know now that, okay, maybe this will be the likely result for me doing this with this quantity, because experience actually helps you as well with your confidence. But you still never know, right? You still have to go out there and do what it is that you're called to do. So go out and be obedient. And I'm hoping this actually encourages you to do what God has placed on your heart to do, and not fear what the result will be, not fear what other people think, but do what you're called to do. And you never know, it could be one of the most amazing journeys you've been on in your whole entire life. The other thing I wish I had learned sooner was that God is the best business coach there is. Like, he can give you some of the greatest, the most creative ideas and tips and tools that you can use to invest and put in your business, and it's more than you could ever imagine, right? So I would encourage you to really include God in your journey as a business person. Don't see him as separate. Include him, because like, business comes from him. All facets of life, the different things that we do and that we like and that we're called to are from him, including business. And I wish I'd learned this sooner, because I had invested in different coaches and different gurus over time, and some of it had helped me a bit. In fact, some of them I feel like God had led me towards, but ultimately I wish I'd just put him first in terms of knowing how to run my business, how to start, different strategies, different tools, different things in place, and followed his leading, instead of trying to figure out who's done it before and done it well and try to, follow their example. Because the thing with business is that, like, if you can have a different way in which you approach your business that's different from someone else that people actually want, you find that you will be successful in your realm, instead of trying to follow what everyone is doing. Not to say that you can't actually take tips and examples from other people, because like, we live in a place where you definitely can get help from other people, and there's nothing new under the sun. But what's best for you, God will show you and actually give you the best strategies. So include him. I think that's the central theme of this video. Include God and follow his leading too. Follow what he says. Definitely. This other truth that was definitely a mindset shift for me was to understand that my business is ministry. So traditionally we think of ministry as being typically in the church, or something that in a standard way leads people to the gospel, which is amazing. Yes, I'm all for that. And I'm here to say that business is a way that you can do that, right? Even just being yourself, sharing that you are a follower of Jesus and the things that you do are guided by him and his principles, that can help you to shine your light. Like he says that you should do, shine your light in the world so people will see your good deeds and glorify him. All of the glory goes to him from you doing what you're called to do, which is ministry. You're showing people how being a follower of Jesus actually affects your life, and how you relate to other people, like with integrity, with love, not just wanting to take things from them, but to offer the best that you have to give. That is ministering to people, because that's not a lot of like the experiences people have right now. People have to be on guard a lot for a good reason, where they have to look out for who may want to take advantage of them or whatnot. And if they can feel that you are not that type of person to take advantage of them, I mean, yes, you have your standard where you offer something and getting, a payment in return is actually biblical. It's actually a principle, to receive reciprocation, basically. But you're not there just to take advantage of people, and people need to see that, So please go out there as a Christian and offer what you have to give with integrity so that people can see that our world isn't as messed up, as it portrays itself to be a lot. And I also want to say that living in your purpose, what you're called to do, what what has been prepared before time for you to walk into, that actually gives people like an example and actually encourages them to walk in their purpose as well, instead of just following the standards or what's expected of them that's not necessarily purpose driven. You can really be encouraging people a lot in the wider marketplace to know the good news. And if you think about it this way as well, there are some people that won't necessarily be prone to walk into a church building or maybe a ministry related activity, but they may actually like watch something online, like a relatable video that still has the good news in place, like something like a life circumstance that's typical for everybody, but you show how you get led by God or get your help from God, something like that. But it's funny, it's creative, so people are more likely to watch it. And even those seeds that you're sowing, that may not seem as big, it's still a way in which you can share the light, share about Jesus and his love. So definitely think about that in your business as well. And the next thing is that comparison. Who there? Comparison actually affects us a lot. And I am trying my best to grow out of the mindset of comparing myself to another business owner in a similar industry to mine, or content creator, stuff like that, because you're not called to be him, her, other people. You're called to be who you are. And yes, you will speak different, you will show up different, you will look different. And that is fine, because you are unique and you do things in the unique ways that's best for you. And you also improve over time. So nothing wrong with wanting to improve, but not wanting to be like someone else. And it really doesn't make sense for you to compare yourself to someone else who may have started 5 years ago when you are just starting, right? Or maybe they have more access to different tools that you don't have right now. Maybe you have a phone while they have a camera, things like that. So it's not helpful to compare yourself to others, and it also kills your creativity, because focusing so much on what they're doing instead of what you are able to do, it just stifles you, So try your best to really come out of comparison. And I'm saying that knowing that I struggle with that as well, but I know that it doesn't help. And you know what? It's so sad. Like, even for me, like comparing myself to other content creators, it has stopped me from producing what I could to the best of my ability and then growing within my own area. So now, like, learn from me. It doesn't make sense. Like, do what you can do and do it to the best of your ability, please. So you are not behind. You are not alone. Use the vision that God has given you for your business and run with it. And if any of these tips helped you, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything else you'd like to share, let me know as well. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.